Happy New Year, everybody. I cannot believe it is 2020 already and that 2019 is gone. Now, every January 1st for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years, since I was in college, I've sat down and I've gone back through my personal budget and I've looked at the income and the expenses for the previous year and compared it to prior years. Starting a couple of years ago, I started putting out a Facebook just update or a blog post last year where I shared a little bit of my observations about our personal budget and what I saw in the trends after looking back through the previous year. So I'm going to do that in a video here today for you, just a couple of quick observations about our personal budget. My name is Brad, and I'm with Wooten CPA. The purpose of the YouTube channel here is to bring peace to you and your finance and tax responsibilities by publishing these videos that help break down more complex topics so that they're easier to understand for you. Now, this one in particular is just kind of a fun video about our personal budget. Maybe you'll get some insight from it, but it's not really kind of that educational video that I typically shoot for here on the channel. But I hope you enjoy this. And again, Happy New Year. So where do we begin with 2019? 2019 was a little bit of an anomaly for us. We had some additional income that won't be recurring and isn't typical for us. We sold some investment property. We also had some expenses that were quite a bit larger than typical. Again, we gave significantly more to charity and to our church because of that increased income that we had from selling that investment property. We also had to purchase a car this year, which was not in the plans because my wife's car died unexpected. We thought we had a few more years that we could get out of it, but it did die. So we had to go purchase another car. We did pay cash for that because we don't have debt on our vehicles. And if you want to know how you can avoid having debt on your vehicles and pay cash moving forward for your cars as well, jump over to my YouTube video, How to Pay Cash for Your Cars, and I'll walk you through how to do that. So since 2019 was a little bit of an anomaly, what I did with that is I pulled those expenses out, which if I buy a car, typically I'll pull those expenses out anyway to normalize our budget in order to help the year-to-year comparison so that I'm looking at our typical expenses. So I've done that here as well. So the first thing that stuck out to me was, I jumped to our housing costs. Housing is a significant cost in our budget, as it is most people's. And when I looked at our housing expenses, they pretty much stayed the same. There wasn't really any change there. There was a little bit of a decrease. Now, we've moved quite frequently every 3 to 4 years as a couple. So we stayed put. We were in Florida for the full 2018, and we were in Florida for the full 2019 in the same home. So our expenses were able to be compared rather easily, and they pretty much stayed the same. Our utilities went down a little bit, which was great. And our furnishings actually, furnishings, home repairs, they went down quite a bit as well because 2018, we moved into this house late 2017, 2018, we were still buying new furniture. We were still doing some repairs as we moved into the house. So 2019 saw a little bit of a decrease there, but overall housing expenses were pretty much the same. If you want to, I also have a video coming out within the next week about how much house you can afford. I will try to answer that question for you while going against some of the most common advice that's out there. So stay tuned for that video and check it out when it comes out next week. The next category that I look at is food. So this includes groceries and eating out. Now for us, our groceries increased significantly from 2017 to 18. Now we do have 3 sons, 5, 7, and 9 are their ages. And as they continue to eat more, our groceries continue to go up. However, from 2018 to 2019, we did not see much increase at all. In fact, our grocery bill went up a little bit. Our eating out bill went down a little bit. Pretty much even in and out and staying the same on our total food costs for the year of 2019. So I was very happy with that. I'm also very pleased with our eating out budget as a family. This, in my opinion, is one of the areas that 10 out of 10 individuals or couples will be surprised and shocked even by how much money they spend eating out once they start tracking their expenses if they're not already doing that. So this is a big area you can cut out. For us, again, very pleased. We spent basically $22 per person in our family per month on eating out. We spent $160 per person per month on groceries. And I happen to think both of those are pretty outstanding numbers, and so I'm very pleased with how well we do on our groceries and our eating out. Again, big tip on groceries is to create a meal plan and create a grocery list before you go to the grocery store so you know exactly what you're going for. You don't get anything that's not on that list. Now, category number 4 would be our vehicle expenses. So again, I pulled out the purchase of our vehicle. So this would include gas, tolls, insurance, repairs. Vehicle expenses were pretty much identical. I mean, within $30 from year to year. So to think that, with fluctuating gas prices, insurance maybe going up a little bit and down, different places we drove for gas and tolls, nothing to report here. I was just pretty shocked that it was within $30 from 2018 to 2019, almost identical in how much we spent from year to year in vehicle transportation costs this year. So again, it's kind of weird that it was so close. So a little bit of advice there, not really related to our expenses, but just in cars in general, I would recommend you buy used so that you don't have to take the depreciation hit by buying a new car when you drive it off that lot. However, if you do buy a new car, just make sure, again, you pay cash for your vehicles. Jump over to my video to watch how to pay cash for your cars. Again, another plug for that same video, but I highly recommend that so that you're not spending interest and more money on a depreciating asset that's going down in value every time you use it. Number 5 would be medical expenses. So the reason why this one sticks out a little bit is because from 2017 to 18, it jumped significantly. Part of that was due to, or most of that, if not all of it, was due to 2 of our sons being in the ER right before Christmas on the same day. Brought one home, had to take the other one back to the ER about an hour after I got home with the first one. The second one was admitted, spent one night there. Luckily, he was okay. I mean, the Lord really blessed us and healed him there, and we were very happy that it wasn't anything serious. But because it was so high because of those 2 ER visits in 2018, I was actually pretty shocked that it did not decrease by more in 2019. Now, part of that is because our oldest son, when we were at the dentist about 3 weeks ago, the dentist said, "Hey, it's time. Don't put it off any longer. You've got to go to the orthodontist." So again, a couple of years sooner than what we expected, but because of the overcrowding in his mouth, we needed to go ahead and make a plan now for his orthodontic work so that his mouth will have enough room for his adult teeth to come in. So that, as well as picking up a full year of ongoing chiropractic maintenance care for my wife and I, made 2019 medical expenses pretty much the same as 2018. So a little bit disappointed there, but I know where it went. I know what we spent it on, and I'm pleased with that category. Now, advice there on that is go with a higher deductible insurance plan, especially if you're healthy, because if you go with a low deductible, high cost premium on your insurance plan, you're paying all that money in premiums even though you might not be going to the doctor very often. If you go with a higher deductible and a cheaper, lower premium for your health insurance, what you can do is you can save that difference in order to pay your out-of-pocket expenses and perhaps even open up a health savings account, HSA, to stick that difference into so that you have the money when the medical bills come. What this does is in the years where you don't have very many medical bills, you've saved the difference in premium, sometimes maybe $5,000, $6,000 per year in premium differences on those plans, where you can save it for retirement if it's in an HSA and you never end up having to use it, save it for future years where medical expenses might be higher, or just save it for other expenses. And so in a year where you do hit your deductible, where you save that premium difference and you can pay that expense out of pocket because of the difference in premiums that you've saved. So it comes out way better in the years you don't have large medical expenses. And as long as you're diligent in saving it, you have the money to pay the out of pocket due to your higher deductible plan in the years where you do have large expenses. So a little bit of a tip there that sometimes, a lot of times, works out for a lot of people. Now, the last category that I'm going to go into is our vacation. Vacation jumped up 408%. Now, this is a situation where percentage doesn't tell the full story. The main reason why it jumped up so high is because we spent basically nothing in 2018 on vacation, and we went on a big family trip to New York in 2019. So again, the percentages, a little bit of a teaser here, that percentage, why you don't want to use percentages, plays a big piece in my video coming out next week on how much house you can afford. So jump over and watch that next week when it comes out. So again, vacation, I highly recommend that you take time to spend time with your family and relax, get away from work, get away from your ordinary everyday activities in order to have fun together as a family and relax. So I highly recommend that. I had a great time in New York, and I plan on future years, including 2020, to look more like 2019, where we do get away a little bit more as a family, as opposed to 2018, where we did not do that very much in that year. So that's pretty much everything as far as our budget goes. I like to look back, like I said, and just see what sticks out to me. Nothing really stuck out. I mean, those 5, 6 categories I just went over. Lot of consistency as I went through each category. So not a whole lot really jumped out as oh man, we need to correct this or fix this moving forward. But it's good to be aware of where we're at, evaluating our budget at the end of the year. Again, the only thing really in 2019 to report was it was a little bit of an anomaly year, and we're thankful that the Lord provided for those increased expenses that we saw through some unusual increase in income. And so again, hope you enjoyed the video. Just for fun, as you can see how we kind of look back through our budget and how we decide to move forward from that. Again, the main purpose of budgeting isn't to limit you. It's basically just to create a plan for your finances, to create a plan for where your money is going to go. So I will be having some how-to videos coming out for budgets. I hope those will help you out a lot and bring peace to you and your finance responsibilities. Stay tuned for those. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get notifications when those videos come out. Thanks for watching.